This tutorial demonstrates how to generate content for a local plumbing business that offers bathroom design, planning and installation services. The business offers these services across the West Midlands County in the United Kingdom. Before we begin, there are a few prerequisites. We'll be using a specific theme and plugins in this tutorial, but you're free to use any themes or plugins as part of your site building process. For WordPress, we'll be using the latest version, which is 5.1.1, the 2019 WordPress theme, and for our plugins, we'll be using the Classic Editor, Page Generator Pro, WP Forms, and Yoast SEO. To maximize our search engine presence, make it clear to customers the services that are on offer, as well as if those services are available at the customer's location, we'll want to generate content comprising of all service and location combinations. To do this, we'll use Page Generator Pro's keywords functionality. Keywords can be seen as template tags, with each keyword comprising of one or more terms. For example, we might have a keyword called service describing the services that our plumbing business offers. For our local plumbing business, we would create two keywords. The first, service, listing the services that the plumbing business offers, and secondly, location, listing the locations that the plumbing business offers their services in. Once we've created those two keywords, we then want to produce pages that describe both the services and locations that the plumbing business operates in. To do this, we will use the plugin's Content Groups functionality. To create the service keyword, navigate to Page Generator Pro and click on Keywords in the WordPress administration menu. Click the Add Keyword button below the title, which can be found towards the top of the screen. The keywords form will then be displayed where you can define the following options. Keyword. This is the unique template tag that you'll use in the content group when defining and generating content. For our services, set this value to service. Terms. This is the list of words or phrases that will be cycled through when generating content that contains this keyword. Each word or phrase is on its own line. Here, we want to think of as many ways that customers might describe our services when searching for them, as well as the services that the business offers. On that basis, we'll set the terms to the following. Once we're happy with everything, we click on the Save button. A notification will be displayed confirming that the keyword saved successfully. To create our location keyword, again, navigate to Page Generator Pro and click on Keywords in the administration menu. To add a new location keyword, click the Generate Locations button below the title, which can be found towards the top of the screen. The Generate Locations form will then be displayed where you can define the following options. Keyword. As before, this is the unique template tag that we'll use in the content group when defining and producing content. For our locations, set this value to location. Output type. The output type defines the data that you want to include for each location stored as a term in the keyword. We can select from any of city, county, zip code and region. Click inside the output type field and select zip code from the drop-down list. This will then include the zip code for each location stored as a term. We can also select city by clicking on it and do the same for county. This will ensure that each term comprises of the zip code, city and county for this keyword. Sorting terms. The first drop-down option allows us to choose the order that terms are stored against this keyword. We'll work through the zip codes alphabetically, so select the zip code option. The second drop-down option allows us to choose whether to order the terms alphabetically in ascending or descending order. As we want to work through our zip codes in ascending alphabetical order, select the ascending option A to Z. For country, we'll select the United Kingdom. For our method, we've got two options. The area method allows us to fetch every location based on restrictions that we define. This is useful if your business operates within a specific geographic boundary, such as a city, county, or region. The radius method allows us to fetch every location within the given radius of a starting point. The radius method allows us to fetch every location within the given radius of a starting point. This is useful if your business operates on a call-out basis within a specific distance of its premises. For this tutorial, we'll choose the area option, assuming that our business operates within a geographical area. As we said at the start, we want to target all locations in the West Midlands, which is a county in the UK. We'll click in the Restrict by County field and start typing West Midlands. After a few seconds, West Midlands England will appear in the drop-down list. Let's click on that to add that restriction. We could add further counties here if, for example, your business operates in multiple areas. Again, if your business operates within specific cities, you can use the Restrict by City option as well. With our form complete, click the Generate Keyword with Locations button. The on-screen progress modal will be displayed whilst the plugin populates the keyword with the list of locations. Once complete, a notification will be displayed confirming that the location keyword was generated and saved successfully. We can go ahead and click on View Keyword, and after a few seconds we'll see that our location keyword has been populated with a list of terms comprising of zip codes, cities and counties. With our service and location keywords defined, we now need to build our content. To do this, we'll use the Generate Content functionality that we spoke about earlier. To start creating our content group, navigate to Page Generator Pro and click on Generate Content in the WordPress administration menu. To add a new content group, click the Add New button below the content group's title, which can be found towards the top of the screen. You will then be presented with a screen similar to the one used to edit your WordPress posts and pages. Let's start by defining the title that we want for each of our pages. As we're targeting each service and location, we want our page title to include both of these keywords. Click on the Insert Keyword drop-down on the top right of the title field and click Service. This will insert service into the title field as a keyword. You can also start typing in the title field and a list of matching keywords will be displayed. Let's finish the title by starting to type in location and then clicking location from the list of results. The service and location keywords will be replaced by a unique term for each page that's generated. If we take the first term from our service and location keywords, the first page generated would use the following terms. For service, it would read bathroom design and planning, and for location, B10 0AB, Birmingham, West Midlands. Therefore, our title for the first generated page will read bathroom design and planning in B10 0AB, Birmingham, West Midlands. Next, let's write some content about the service and location. In this tutorial, we've gone ahead and produced some content which you can copy and paste into the text editor. There's a link in the documentation for this. You need to make sure that you're using the text editor when pasting this content instead of the visual editor. To do this, click the Text tab here. We'll paste the content into the text editor and click on the Visual tab to preview the content. You're not restricted to only using the classic editor, but we're using it for the purposes of this tutorial. You can use Gutenberg or your page builder plugin of choice if you prefer, and it will be displayed here. As you can see in the content, we've again made use of our keywords service and location. We've written some basic content about the company, again including the keywords throughout the content, provided some separate headings and some reasons to choose the company. Moving on to the description field. This field isn't displayed anywhere on the generated content and it is not required. However, it's useful as an internal description or reference about the content if you've got several content groups defined in the plugin. For this tutorial, we'll go ahead and describe this group as bathroom services in the West Midlands. By default, WordPress will generate a permalink or slug based on the title. However, we can control the precise permalink used by manually entering a permalink into the field. Again, keywords are supported, so let's go ahead and enter service, followed by a hyphen, and then location. By default, the plugin is set to publish content as pages, but just to be certain, check that the post type option is set to page. There are a few different ways that we can generate content, each of which are based on the keywords that we're using. The three main methods are all, sequential, and random. The all method generates pages for all possible unique combinations of all keywords specified across your content group. In this case, it would ensure that every service and location combination has its own unique page. The sequential method honors the precise order of each keyword's terms. This would mean that the first service and first location would be used for the first page, the second service and second location would be used for the second page, and so on. This is more useful if you have relational data that has to relate to other keywords. Finally, the random method will generate pages choosing a term from each keyword for each page at random. For the purposes of our tutorial, we'll go ahead and use the all method, given that our plumbing business covers all listed services in all locations. The overwrite option allows us to overwrite existing pages that were previously generated by this group that match the same permalink. This is useful if we need to regenerate our content because we fix a typo or make alterations to the content, and we don't want to end up with duplicate pages describing the same service and location. We'll set this option to yes. With our title, content, and permalink completed, plus the publish and generation settings confirmed, let's save our content group before starting content generation. In the Actions box, click the Save button. The screen will update confirming that the content group has been published or updated if we're saving an existing content group. It's a good idea to test the content in settings by generating a single page in draft mode. This ensures that the page isn't made available to website visitors in case we spot any issues and need to alter settings or content in our group before generating all of the pages. To do this, we again go to the Actions box and click the Test button. We'll see confirmation that we want to generate a single page in draft mode, and we can accept this by clicking OK. After a few moments, the screen updates, confirming that a test page has been generated. The notification also tells us the terms that were used to replace the keywords. Let's click the link in the notification, which takes us to the draft page. We can scroll through and see that our keywords have been replaced by our service, bathroom design and planning, and our location, B10 0AB, Birmingham, West Midlands. We have the rest of our content here, and again, keywords have been replaced with terms. There are a few areas we could improve on. Let's go back to the content group's edit screen and make some improvements. Whenever we're using the location keyword, we're getting the full term. For example, our title is Bathroom Design and Planning in B10 0AB, Birmingham, West Midlands. This is not the most user or SEO friendly title, so let's look at extracting keyword term subsets to produce a better title. When we created our location keyword within the keyword section of the plugin, some additional fields were also automatically completed for us. They were the delimiter and column fields. These correspond to the location terms, namely the delimiter is the character separating words for each term, in this case a comma, and the columns are the column names corresponding to each delineated word in the terms based on the delimiter. Looking at our terms, we can see they are separated by a delimiter, the comma, and comprise of three columns: the zip code, B10 0AB, the city name, Birmingham, and the county name, West Midlands. Going back to our content group, this means that we can control which parts of each term are output when we use our location keyword. For the title, we only want the city and zip code, as the county will always be the same. Using the columns defined in our location keyword, we can update our title field to display the location, city and zip code only. To do this, we'll delete the existing location keyword in the title, and we'll start typing location. You'll see that the drop-down list of keywords contains both the location keyword and our term subsets for the zip code, city name and county name. We'll click on the city name, we'll add a comma and a space, and we'll click on the zip code. This will now produce a more user-friendly title. So for our first page, it would say Bathroom Design and Planning in Birmingham, B10 0AB. Let's also go ahead and do the same for the first title in the visual editor in the same way. We'll remove the location keyword, and as we open the curly brace, you'll see again we can select from the drop-down list of options the city name, we can add a comma and a space, and we'll select the zip code. For pages to be considered for inclusion in search engine indexes, it's important that the content comprises of more than a few paragraphs of text. We can enhance the content with some of our plugin shortcodes. Let's start by adding a Google map illustrating the location of where the service is offered. We'll add this after the first paragraph by clicking at the end of the first paragraph and hitting the Enter key. This creates a new paragraph for our Google Map shortcode. Next, click on the black marker icon in the toolbar of the visual editor. In the modal dialog window that appears, we've got several options to complete. The map type, we will go with the standard road map, but there are other options for satellite, driving directions and street view. The location is the location to display on the map. Now we could manually enter a location here, such as a city or zip code, but again we can use our keywords. So let's go ahead and use our location zip code. If we need the map's height on the computer screen to be taller, we can increase the default 250 pixels. Let's go ahead and change this to 350 pixels. As we're displaying a postal code or zip code area on the map, we want to show some detail by zooming in more than the default setting. So we'll go ahead and change this to 16. The higher the number, the greater the zoom, and therefore the more detail that the user will see on the map. We'll click the Insert button, which will insert the Google Maps shortcode into the content. We can also add images to further enhance our content and SEO. Before the cost heading, add a blank paragraph and then click on the black camera icon in the toolbar of the visual editor. In the modal dialog window that appears, we again have several options. The term is the search query used by the plugin when searching for images on Unsplash, which is a free stock photography website. As we want our image to be relevant to the content we're producing, again we can make use of keywords. Let's go ahead and select service. Whilst most themes will automatically scale the image to fit on the screen, we can choose a size that isn't too large to result in slow page loading times. In this case, we'll choose the full option. If we wanted to specify an image orientation, we could do so here. For example, if our theme lends itself to working better with portrait images or squarer images, we can select those here. The alt tag is used to define the alt tag assigned to the image that's inserted into the content. And this is really important for both SEO and accessibility. The alt tag should describe the image, so in most cases matching the term that we're using is best. Once again, from the insert keyword drop down, we can select the service option. Finally, click the insert button, and again you'll see a shortcode has been added to the content. Another method that we can use to enhance the uniqueness of each generated page is to use spin tags. Another method we can use to enhance the uniqueness of each generated page is to use spin tags. Spin tags produces variants of strings or paragraphs within your content for each generated page at random. For example, a sentence might be writing content is a lot of fun. With spin tags, we could have the first word be writing or creating. The plugin will then, at random, generate a variation for each generated page. We can apply this to our content in our first paragraph. I've gone ahead and produced some spin tags already, and we'll just go and copy and paste it in here. What we've done here is selected some words and found some similar words or synonyms to describe the same word. The plugin will then take the spin tags and select one of these three words for each of the pages that it generates. We can also use block spinning, which allows us to generate unique paragraphs of content, not just individual words. Applying this to our content, we can replace our modify first paragraph with block spin tags. We'll go ahead into the text editor for this, remove the content for the first paragraph, and paste in some content I've already produced. As you can see, the block spin tags uses paragraph tags and sentence tags. What will happen here is this denotes a single paragraph that comprises of a single sentence, and within the sentence block we have each different sentence on its own line. When we go to generate content, the plugin will select one of these two lines and define that as the sentence for this paragraph. There's no limit to the number of sentences we have, so we could have a second and third and fourth, and there are no limits to the number of lines within every sentence that we produce. You'll also notice that the spin tags that we previously produced is supported within block spin tags. This means that we can very quickly produce a very large number of unique possible outcomes when generating content from the plugin. Let's go back to the visual editor, and with the changes to our content made, we'll go ahead and retest them. We'll click the test button, we'll click OK to confirm, and after a few seconds we can see that the page has been generated. You'll also see that the group has been updated. Whenever you test or generate content, it will also save the content group. With our content defined, we now want to focus on converting visitors to prospects, giving them an actionable next step. One of the best ways of doing this is to add a contact form to your content. In this tutorial, we're using WP Forms, but you can use any contact form plugin that you prefer. If you haven't already set up a contact form, we recommend you go ahead and do this now. Once you've set up your contact form, click the end of the last bullet point in your content, press enter twice to start a new paragraph, click the add form button if you're using WP Forms, select your contact form and click the add form button. With the contact form added, the final step is to ensure that our SEO metadata is correct for the pages that we'll be generating. In this tutorial, we're using Yoast SEO, but again, you can use any SEO plugin that you prefer. Clicking the Edit Snippet button expands this section to allow us to enter the text that we'd like to appear on the search engines. In the meta description box, we can go ahead and enter some text. It's good practice to define the meta description, as not all post types support an excerpt, which is typically where the meta description is taken from. Again, both spin tags and keywords are supported within the meta description. If we scroll down to the focus key phrase, we can click on this section to expand it and enter a focus key phrase. As we're targeting the search engines for the service and location, let's enter service in location zip code. Again, it's good practice to define the focus key phrase, as the keywords will be replaced by a term on each generated page. This means that when we go to view that individual page, we can review the SEO score and tweak its content slightly if necessary. This also ensures the analysis results are displayed for the content group, meaning that we can make changes as necessary to improve our content before we go ahead and generate it. With the Yoast SEO fields completed, we can now look at the readability analysis to see how well our content might perform on the search engines. Click on the readability analysis heading in the Yoast SEO meta box to see a list of analysis results. For our content, we're advised to add more transition words and improve the ease of reading of the content. Let's go ahead. I've gone ahead and already created some content, so I'll click on the text editor tab, select everything here and paste in the updates that I've made. Click back on the visual tab and we'll scroll back down to the readability analysis. As we can now see, we've got a green smiley face, and you'll also notice that both the transition words and reading ease tests are still amber. This is because we're specifying block spin tags and spin tags, not all of which will be included in the generated pages. Therefore, we need to perform a final test to see how a completed page performs in terms of SEO analysis. To do this, in our actions box, click the test button. Click OK to confirm. The screen will update, confirming that the test page has been produced. The notification also tells us the terms that we use to replace the keywords. Let's click the link in the notification, which takes us to the draft page. If we scroll down, we can see we have our map, we have our image of a bathroom, our spin tags and block spin tags has been applied, and we have our contact form at the end. If we click the edit page link towards the top of the screen, we can then scroll down to look at the Yoast SEO analysis. As we can see here, our readability analysis is good, although there is still an improvement that could be made for our transition words. If we're happy with our content, we can now go ahead and generate all of our pages. To do this, click the Generate button in the Actions section of the screen. A confirmation dialog will appear, telling us that this will generate all pages, and click on OK to proceed. A new screen will appear showing a progress bar and log. As each page generates, the progress bar and log will update. You'll see the total number of pages that will be produced, and this is based on the method that we've used along with the total number of terms across all of our keywords.